Hi, I'm Eva, I'm 15, and today I'm going to be asking people questions about global warming.
Hi, my name is Fawn, and I'm in the 6th grade.
Okay, first question. What do you think global warming is?
Well, I feel like global warming really is more like climate change rather than global warming, and it should be called that because climate change refers to how the climate in the total climate around the earth is changing. I can't speak.
My name is Mary Ramos and I'm in 8th grade. When the temperature rises up.
My name is Andrea Portillo and I'm in the 10th grade. I think global warming is the gradual change in the Earth's temperature due to the greenhouse gases in the ozone layer.
Hi, my name is Kevin and I'm a sophomore. I think global warming is humans creating greenhouse gases which are getting trapped in the environment, causing the Earth to heat up quicker.
Hi, I'm Sheila and I am a junior. Global warming to me is the rising temperature in the Earth's atmosphere, basically, which has a lot of effects on us.
Like what?
So the effects of global warming can be drought or deforestation, wildfires, the rising in tides in the ocean. It really depends on what environmental system you're in across the world to have a different effect and impact on you.
Hi, my name is Hasmin Ramos and I'm a senior in high school. Global warming is the rise in temperature and heat of the world.
My name is Rick Thweet. I'm a business teacher. Basically climate change. I don't know that warming is necessarily the phrase that I would use. I think of it more as global climate change, where things are definitely changing from where they were.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Kitchen. I'm a biology teacher at Garfield. Global warming is the increase in atmospheric temperature, and we usually use that term to refer to the human influence that causes the increase in temperature and not natural processes.
Question 2. What do you remember thinking when you first heard about global warming, and what do you think about it now?
Well, when I first heard about it, I was like, wait, what? What's happening to the Earth? Is it okay? Do you need help? But now that I'm actually older, I guess you could say, I have a different perspective on it, and I feel like people really aren't doing much, and it's crazy. Yeah.
I thought it was no big deal until it impacted the world.
When I first heard about global warming, I was like, no way. Like, I just thought that all the seasons were like just fine the way they were, and I didn't really notice a change.
Yeah.
Till then, now I'm like actually noticing it, and I'm noticing it now.
At first, I didn't really believe it, but now the facts are all around us. Like, who can deny it?
Before I didn't really get global warming until social media. There was a big rise in like urgency of global warming, but before I thought it was like, oh, like just the earth getting warmer, so like it's gonna be hotter in the summer, but literally that's not it. And it could be very dangerous for our world if we continue doing stuff we're doing right now.
My opinion on global warming has basically stayed the same throughout several years. I always think that it's a really big deal because it changes our world on a day-to-day basis.
It sounded big and scary the first time I heard about it, for sure. But then as I learned more about it and got more information, still big and scary, and still something that I feel like we should try and figure out how to fix if we can.
I was interested the first time I heard about it, did some research, and now it worries me a lot because I have children, and I'm worried about what their future will be.
What would you say to people who don't believe global warming is real?
Well, first off, frick you.
One.
But in all honesty, maybe they just haven't been taught what it really is, or maybe they just are
They don't
raised in
really
an
know.
environment. Yeah, you don't really know their conditions. You don't know if they've been taught that oh, this is all fake. They're just telling you lies, because why not create a whole bunch of panic around something like that? So yeah.
It has impacted the world so far with many tragic events like wildfires.
I would tell them that it is real, and that if they don't believe me, they can look up the scientific proof themselves, because you can notice the change in the rising sea levels, in the changing precipitation, because Texas got snow. Did we? Barely.
Look around you.
I will tell them that it is very real and give them evidence to why, because even Bill 9, which I grew up with, watching basically, he was really mad, and like he really made a statement about global warming, and that just made me feel bad. So I would probably show that person that and like give them evidence as to why global warming is real.
There's a lot of scientific evidence that backs global warming up. It's a really big deal because, I mean, everything that we do every day basically like changes how the world works.
I'm not an authority. I don't have all the answers, certainly, but I would just at least say look at all the facts. Certainly, the climate has changed before, and it's changing now. But really, just kind of look at what we're doing to maybe that's possibly affecting it, and even if it's not man-made, if we can do anything to improve the situation, I feel like that's something we should do, and I would tell them to kind of think about that.
I would say do some research, because just looking at trends in temperatures and looking at trends in carbon dioxide levels and ocean rising and glaciers melting, it's pretty indisputable, and there are so many studies that have shown that climate change and global warming is actually happening that you can't really deny it anymore.
Why do you think some people are more alarmed about global warming than others?
Because going back to question 3, I believe it was, right? That was the last question?
Yeah.
Okay, so going back to question 3, it's basically the same thing. They could have been raised in some place, and some people can be raised in a place where they're highly alert on that
Type of stuff. I get what you're trying to say.
But some people are like, don't really know anything, so they don't really care about it, and they'll just continue doing what they're doing.
There can be big problems, more wildfires and other problems.
I think people are more alarmed about global warming than others because some people are more aware than others, and it's not portrayed in the media enough, and it's not notifying everybody about what's happening to our earth.
Maybe because they don't live in areas that are as affected as others.
Probably because of the change that goes on every single day, the different type of temperature that goes on.
I think there are skeptical people that don't want to believe what science says. It's certainly been politicized, and depending on what end of the political spectrum I think some people are on, it can affect their opinion. I don't know, it's just a tough concept to grasp, that some people don't necessarily, you may not think about it that way. It's like, this is something that's happening.
Well, I think some people have been affected by it already. So many people live on the coast, and they've seen flooding and larger hurricanes, and I think some people are maybe afraid of it or don't want to do something because they feel like it's such a difficult problem to solve and it's going to be pretty expensive.
Do you think global warming should be talked about more?
Yes. Cut, dry, and simple.
Okay.
Yes.
Definitely. And like social media is a big thing right now. Social media could be a perfect way to to get the word around about global warming and start a change.
I think they should be talked a lot more on social media and on news and on websites and stuff.
Yes, definitely, especially in schools. Because I know there aren't a lot of topics we talk about in school, but if it's up for the debate, then schools should implement a global warming talk because we are the futures of tomorrow. So if things don't turn out well, it's our fault. Just saying.
Yes, I do.
I feel like it is, but more couldn't hurt. I feel like it is something that more people are aware of, but I see no harm in continuing to talk about it and increasing the amount that we do talk about it.
I think it's always good to talk about things that are important, so I know it's getting a lot of attention right now, and I think the more we talk about it, the more solutions we can come up with, so yes.
In 2019, 161 bills about global warming were introduced to Congress, yet out of those, only 14 passed the House, though they still had to go through the Senate. 1 was agreed to, and 4 were enacted. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you think the federal government is doing in response to global warming?
I mean, just hearing that fact alone, that's just telling you how they really haven't done anything. So, what are we supposed to do?
Rate it on a scale of 1 to 10.
Shoot. I'd say it's about a 3.5.
It seems like they don't really care as much as other people do. They don't see the consequences it may lead to in the future.
A 4, a 3. They're not doing enough. They're worried about other issues rather than the world itself.
I think a 3 because they're trying, but they're not trying as hard as they could.
2.5. I don't think the government's issues really revolve around global warming, especially the United States government. With Trump around more, the main focus is towards military fundings. So, and I think there was a tweet he made about global warming of him not believing it, which was very stupid and ignorant to the fact that scientists have proven, statistical facts, and everybody's been worried, So I don't really think that the United States would really do anything, but other systems of government, in Europe, they've been trying to implement more practices that they could do to solve the issues, which I appreciate. But it'll definitely not happen in industrialized countries. I don't think
In
so.
all honesty, I feel like the federal government isn't really doing that much as it should be. There could be a lot more done.
It's not good. I mean, I don't like some of the things that the fact that so many bills haven't gone through, but just answering that question, I don't know what the bills were, so I don't know how well thought out they were or what was in the bills. It would less than 5. Like I said, I don't know enough to put a number on it, but those bills and kind of the whole idea that the United States isn't in the Paris Climate Treaty anymore, and we're one of maybe 2-3 nations that aren't in it, that I would have to give it certainly a low mark.
Well, I think the statistics say it all. It sounds like some of our elected officials are trying, but we need more to support efforts to curb global warming and find solutions.
Who do you think is responsible or the biggest contributor to global warming?
Us humans. Literally, it's because of us.
Elaborate on that.
It's literally because of us, because one, all the factories that we're using to manufacture stuff, greenhouse gases.
Period.
And then also, we're building all this land, we're building on so much land that there's literally not that much trees left. So all that carbon dioxide is still lingering in the air instead of being turned into oxygen by trees or plants.
Us, the humans, definitely. Our factories, the pollution we're causing, the smokes from the cars.
I think China, because they're the most industrialized country and they contribute to global warming the most.
I mean, over the courses of years, humans have caused the main issues. So basically every issue on this planet Earth has been caused by humans. So
Us.
I mean, it's pretty big. There's lots of contributing factors to it. To put it on, I don't think I can put it on one person. I mean, certainly industrialized nations have a hand in it, and some of them are cleaning up their act. A lot of industrialized nations are cleaning up their act, but I don't know that I could put blame it on one person. I think it's kind of a global thing that globally we need to look at.
Well, first world countries, obviously, we use the most energy. We have huge populations, so yeah.
Most big businesses and corporations know that they contribute to pollution, which in turn contributes to global warming. Many big businesses don't switch to eco-friendly practices despite knowing this. Why do you think that is?
I mean, one of the main reasons is because they might not because it might cost a lot of money that they're not willing to spend on trying to change from renewable energy source rather than just using, and since they're already using that non-renewable source, they're like, we're not about to spend however much we're gonna do this. The planet's gonna end already soon. It's whatever.
Because they don't see it as a big deal.
Because of the money. They're worried about the money. They're not worried about the earth. But they like that the money they're getting because it costs more. They want to keep production at a low cost so that they can earn more profit.
Because a more environmental friendly stuff can be more expensive than non-environmental friendly stuff.
All about money.
businesses are really corrupt by money, of course, and they only care about their profit and what they gain. So they're not going to change anything that can ruin their growth or market sales or anything like that.
Probably because they probably don't really care as much as they should, and probably out of the fear that if they do switch to something more eco-friendly, that it'll ruin their profit and ruin their business.
Money. Money and motivation. Money, because it will cost, and then motivation, maybe they don't see what they're going to get out of it, and they're concerned about profit, investors, things like that. I mean, that would be a guess. Again, I don't have all the answers, but
Yeah.
I think businesses have to answer to their investors, and their investors want profits, and so that's really all they're concerned with, though that's not true for all businesses. There are a lot of businesses who are trying to do the right thing.
What do you think big businesses and corporations, or even just us as civilians, can do about global warming?
Well, one, we could we might not use as much plastic as we do. Another thing, we shouldn't watch TV that much, use our electronics, which could be kind of hard for us. But yeah, that's some things for us we can do, and instead of driving cars and stuff like that, we could walk or ride our bicycles when we have the opportunity. Don't do it if the trip's 20 miles and plus away. But if it's a reasonable walking distance or biking distance, do it. And also, factories, change your style, you mother.
Go outside more, use less cars, and just not pollute the air.
We can recycle. We can start using electric cars. We can use solar energy. There's a lot of change that we can do, and we aren't doing enough of it.
I think as civilians we could recycle, and as big companies we can switch to more environmental friendly things, even though they're more expensive.
So we could practice more eco-environmental stuff. Like businesses could,
Eco-friendly?
yeah, eco-friendly stuff. Like businesses could use more biodegradable products to make their actual products. So yeah, we could use less plastic. Yeah, just be more eco-friendly, I guess.
Use less gas, less fossil fuels that can pollute the air. Just do better, like go outside more and walk more. Just do more things that are better for the planet rather than just polluting and damaging our earth. Just do it!
Educate yourself. Really. Just read, educate yourself, look for good sources of information. And it's tough because you have to weed out biases on both sides of, fighting global warming and saying it's a thing, and then the sides say, oh, it's not a big deal, it's natural. So just sort of get through the bias, get good information, and learn as much as you can. I think once you learn, then you can sort of best decide how to go about changing things.
Well, we certainly need to talk to our elected officials because they are responsible for writing the laws and passing them. And we should put some pressure on businesses and tell them what we want. And we should insist that they do something about their practices.
Okay, thank you.